Hi everyone, I am Shreya Gupta and I'm a lawyer by profession. I have created this course, Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. Sexual harassment at workplace is considered violation of women's right to equality, life and liberty. It creates an insecure and hostile work environment which discourages women's participation in work, thereby adversely affecting their social and economic empowerment and the goal of inclusive growth. The need for such legislation was observed first time by the Supreme Court in the Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan case, where there was a problem which the court was facing that there was no law at that time which provided measures to check the evil of sexual harassment for working women. And therefore, the Supreme Court, in exercise of power available under Article 32 of the Constitution, framed guidelines to be followed at all workplaces or institutions until a legislation is enacted for the purpose. Therefore, the Supreme Court incorporated basic principles of human rights enshrined in Constitution of India under Article 14, 15, 19, 1, Clause G and 21 and the provisions of Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which we also call as CEDAW, which has been ratified in 1993 by the Government of India. So in this entire course, I have divided 6 modules where one starts with the understanding of sexual harassment, that is, what are the gender issues at workplace which people face, the meaning and importance of gender, equality at workplace, the concept of gender inequality at workplace, and the causes of gender inequality. Second clause inside one module is defining sexual harassment, which is very important. What is harassment, the types of harassment, the sexual harassment, and defining the workplace, the extension of workplace, and similarly like that. Coming over to module 2, we have the global initiatives which are taken to prevent sexual harassment, which includes ILO, CEDAW, and Civil Rights Act of 1991, the underdeveloped nations, initiatives taken for them, and the initiatives taken by the developing countries. Module 3 covers the national level landmarks in the prevention of sexual harassment, covering CEDAW, the challenges that was faced by CEDAW while forming the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the rights of women in our constitution, that is constitutional privileges, constitutional provisions, the evolution of law in workplace sexual harassment, that is early developments in the statutes, the Supreme Court guidelines, as mentioned, the Vishaka guidelines in detail, and what constitutes sexual harassment in it, the applicability and scope, the sexual harassment definition. Then we have Internal Complaints Committee, the constitution of the ICC presiding, the local complaints committee, the power of LCC and ICC, the interim reliefs, the role of organization and the employees. Module 4 will tell you about preventing sexual harassment in the world of work, that is, who is an employer, who is an appropriate government to deal with these issues, who is the district officer, who is the labor commissioner. So the responsibility of employees and the trade unions in prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. Also the impact of gender mainstreaming, workplace equality in prevention of sexual harassment at work. Module 5 will tell you about the effective working of Internal Complaints Committee, the local complaints committee. So in an organization, when there are more than 10 employees, it is mandatory for that organization to create an internal committee which comprises of 50% women and 50% men, so that nobody is ashamed of complaining about their work environment. So altogether, it's complaint committee. We'll talk about types of complaints, composition of complaints committee, LCC, the role of complaints committee, the rights of the parties, rights of the complainant, the rights of the respondent. Also, there are few guidelines regarding the inquiry process, the inquiry proceedings, the intent versus impact, the human rights approach. These all will be covered in this entire course. And Module 6 is kept as an MCQ for all the people who are enrolling themselves in this course. They need to undergo a small MCQ test in order to qualify this course. And each module comprises of 30 to 45 questions, which are supposed to be completed by you in a short span of time. And according to that basis, you will be given the certificates for the completion of the project. So for every module, you will be given 3 attempts to complete, and in 3 attempts, you need to qualify 45% of the questionnaire for you. Thank you.